1. This hero is crazy right now, especially Eastern Europe will play it as a 1. So there is a lot of flex on PuckChamp. So they're going to have to kind of reveal some route that they want to go down. So I'm personally just intrigued on what route that's going to be because of how really open I think this Dawnbreaker is. And we had the opportunity to cast Dawnbreaker a decent amount with the addition into it in Captain's mode a couple of months ago, whenever that was, and we were seeing it a lot. I saw it a couple times too, but a lot played as a support. I personally like it a lot more as a 4, just a Holy Locket Scepter, but I've really been liking this kind of core Dawnbreaker where late game you do a crap load of damage, and that Ag shot is also very, very good.
10 seconds.
Yeah,
remaining.
absolutely. You know, you can just be this beefy person on the front lines. The heal is actually pretty
5
significant when
seconds
you're going up
remaining.
against a lot of these zoo style of metas, and any kind of hero, it doesn't matter what role you play it on, that can shove out a lane effectively, particularly as a support for Dawnbreaker, and just instantly rejoin the team. It's such a big impact, right? But instead, they go for the Bane, revealing that the Dawn is going to be some kind of core
Radiant
role,
team
not
pick.
100% revealed just yet. But again, same reason that I was saying why it's a good pick before, right?
Dire
It's just
team
good
pick.
against an IO, and it's also good at preventing the global presence that this IO Storm Spirit combination has. Strong kill lane though with the Jugger
It
and the
is.
Jakiro.
I'm
10
trying to
seconds
see how I
remaining.
feel about the Jakiro. I think it's going to be a pretty good answer to the Bane Fiends group, but
5 seconds
I felt like they had
remaining.
decent ways last game. We didn't really see it pan out, maybe how they were hoping. So still there is always a potential. Like you said, it's a very good lane, but I just wonder how PuckChamp are now going to look to try and deal with the Juggernaut. Maybe you go for... I think you leave your carry to last because you still don't see the offlane.
I'm just thinking with the Dawn, are they feeling like they could just do that as the 3 and then use that to Celestial Hammer to be able to create space away from the Blade Fury? It's going to be challenging though, right? Like with a Jakiro to slow down,
Radiant
Enchantress,
team
you
banned.
don't exactly have the ways to be able to slow him down. Don't hate this Ember pick at all. Like again, it's just good enough into the Storm Spirit. You're going to be able to deal some damage into the Jakiro on the back lines, and it's basically the only like versatile mid hero that's left in the entire hero pool, other
10
than maybe a
seconds
Death Prophet.
remaining.
But maybe just thinking that they needed someone that was
5
going to
seconds
dive a
remaining.
little bit more onto the front lines to create space for a greedy position 4 like Roger.
Yeah, and I think the thing with the Ember Spirit as well, like naturally you'd probably say it's a little bit more Storm Spirit favored in this matchup. Very slight, maybe like 55-45. I think now though, PuckChamp are going to have a bit of a better advantage in regards to their supports being able to rotate mid. We saw the emphasis that they put on it in game 1 with Roger connecting on the Enchantress. Even Ducalis was getting active as well. So my eyes are really going to be on that for them to rotate before the level 6 comes out. Probably an early level in the chains from Young G. Probably all you need is like one. I imagine like a 1-2-2 build, maybe in 1-3-1. And if they can get the Storm Spirit, then quick and easy kill, put him back to the jungle. Then you get the tower as well. Then it really opens up the map.
Yeah, particularly you need to be looking at the bot lane before that, just because, of course, the Enchantress, while she wants, of course, to be able to get those jungle creeps, you also are going to need to leave that lane for those reasons that you highlighted. And so the lane can't be in a
10
position
seconds
where you're able to
remaining.
pull the small camp, make the Dawnbreaker be in a really risky position if
5
it is going to be a
seconds
position
remaining.
3 Dawnbreaker. So you just need to open up as much possibility to farm safely for that minute or so that you're going to be out of the lane. So it looks like offlaners that are, sorry, an offlaner that is set to come for NoSorry. Something that's going to pair well together with an IO. It's not going to be the Slardar. It's not going to be a Legion Commander. Potentially an Underlord, but we don't 100% know what the lanes are going to be just yet. And if they are going to go, for example, an aggressive core, like if they went Bane Ursa, for example, then the Underlord doesn't have anywhere near as good of a time.
Yeah, I also think
Dire
Night
team
Stalker could be
banned.
something they're considering as well. I think it's a very good Night Stalker game. Into the Bane, to the Ember. I think for the Silence, as soon as the Dawnbreaker lands, you don't really deal with the Enchantress.
Radiant
But,
team
and
pick.
then, okay, there you go. There's the ban. So now I'd put a lot of emphasis on the Underlord for NoSorry. I was also
Have you
considering...
seen Underlord played much since the patch? I really haven't. I think it's just dropped way off when it didn't really receive too many nerfs.
Did it get nerfs?
Без
What's
негатива,
changed?
ладно?
I think very slight nerf to the one of the talents, I believe.
Checking now.
I might be wrong.
Die.
No way. Holy. What a hero.
Damn cool.
No changes in 7.31D.
Okay.
Which I'm surprised because I thought the hero was quite strong. This is a very interesting pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Trying to think what this is all about. I mean, at the moment,
5 seconds remaining.
This be a Dawn one?
You may now
Okay.
select your heroes.
I'm just thinking like they probably want this to be the response to the Solar Guardian, right? Like as soon as you're looking to rejoin, you just stampede, get the hell out, or gives an extra way for the Juggernaut to be able to close in onto DeCarlos' position and make sure he doesn't have as great of a team fight. Same sort of thing with Roger as well, right? Like if you go this, I don't want to call it magic Juggernaut build, but Maelstrom into the phase boots and the Aghanim shard eventually, you're still able to deal a very good amount of damage to an Ench and, rip through things like the Flame Guard. Means that Bane doesn't have quite as easy a time. You need to commit the Fiend's Grip to be able to stop him. So I don't hate this NoSorry draft. I think they just need to play it a little bit differently. I kind of spelled out how they needed to take those later team fights in game number 1, and it was still Storm Spirit just going in super deep at the very end when he probably didn't need to. So maybe a little bit more emphasis being given to this side lane with the Centaur of having a good start to the game.
And I think he should have a pretty good start as well. I don't believe the Druid's going to be able to zone him out. I do think it's a pretty good Druid pick though. Very solid against Spirit Heroes. If you are able to get that root, then they're pretty much just perma-controlled, even Raw as well for that measure. And I think it's very good versus Stampede too, something that's relying on just being able to get out instantly. But if the bear's already on top of you, continuing to get those right clicks out, then very similar to Spirit Heroes, you caught once in the root, then Stampede's not going to be a factor at all. So I don't hate the last pick from either side. It's definitely NoSorry going for something, I'd say, a little bit more out of left field with this Centaur hero getting picked. I like the hero a lot. I don't think he's very strong at the moment, but I'm excited to see how last hero can play with it. I think he struggled a little bit in game 1 on the Mars, so hoping for a bit of a recovery game from him.
See Roger moving through here, looking to get one of those super deep wards up. Wonder if the smoke will pop at will, so they know exactly where the movement is coming. They might say, oh, he's setting up to put a ward onto the high ground. I wonder if Yond will get baited into actually using the sentry for that purpose, but Roger, somehow his spidey senses were tingling. He thought someone's nearby.
He was smoked as well, so he knew.
Ah, I see. Was he? I didn't even see the smoke.
Yeah, he was smoked as well.
30 seconds to battle.
Places. What do you make of this lane ward that he placed? Is that him?
I mean, anytime you've got an Enchantress. Oh.
No, I was just seeing if the sentry was in range, the one they placed kind of by the bottom cliff, but no, it wasn't. Just out.
Unfortunately not. Anytime you've got an Enchantress or anyone with high mobility, you always just want to be able to go for those courier snipes. So, yeah, just anything that's going to make the lane weaker so that when he eventually wants to make that rotation towards to the mid lane, it's going to be that much more effective.
This is,
Malik is somehow able to steal the bounty.
Okay.
I don't know how he got that, but he did, and Roger, he's going to claim the 4th. So, PuckChamp get all 4 bounties. Call it now.
Whoa, hang on a second. What the hell? Look at all the voice lines right there. Yeah, they're filling himself. 4 bounties. It's a lot of gold for the lads. A lot of gold indeed for the lads. Roger going for the Blightstone first for the Enchantress. So just going to look to pummel into the Jakiro. Do you like this Blightstone, especially with the dual breath, just attack slow?
Yeah, I think it's totally fine. I mean, you're going up against Jakiro, who only has 3 armor, so he's looking to prioritize Dream a bit more, but I think just anything that's going to make the lane a little bit more difficult. Again, just... I do kind of like the way that they're using the couriers, though. Not patrolling it through the lane on the Jakiro, making sure that they're able to guarantee its safety as it comes to the lane. Really prevents the effectiveness of that lane ward.
Oh, man. I can't imagine this bottom lane is going to be too fun for Dream, though. Dawnbreaker at level 2 does a ridiculous amount of damage, and Roger again with the impetus level 1, and like we mentioned, the Blightstone, so he is just pummeling damage into NoSorry.
just one of those annoying things, right? Like a Jakiro doesn't have the greatest attack range, only 400. You compare that with an Enchantress, nearly 200 more range, plus the Impetus, plus the Blightstone on top of things, and you're not at all mana reliant. So, yeah, does make life very difficult, and Dream, has he got any last hits in this lane? He's got 3, but doesn't feel like it.
Jesus Christ.
It's physical damage. That'll do it to you.
Oh, it is too. Wait, and this... Hang on, what? What? The stun doesn't go through the magic
I'm pretty
immunity.
sure the slam doesn't.
Okay.
No. The smash, rather. The
Yeah.
swipe does, the smash doesn't.
I'm like, piece of spell immunity, surely not the smash, but... I was like, that is no good if that's going to be the case. Look, okay, cool. Decent, decent mana gain. Mana regen 1.2, nothing crazy. He's gone Soul Ring first, so Malik's just going to look to spam out abilities in this lane. Putting a lot of attention down bottom though. How's this mid matchup looking for the moment? Pretty even for Manic and Yunji. Nothing crazy. Again, we were both kind of speaking about in the draft and looking for these rotations to come out before the level 6 on Manic to try and get the kill onto the Storm Spirit.
Seeing a lot of these camps being played around as well. Roger, he looks like he's just trying to accelerate his own farm a little bit, as well as try and get this lane pulled in. And I wonder if with this being successful, might be the trigger for him to make that rotation towards the mid lane. Might just want level 3 first before he makes that sort of movement, but really wouldn't hate to see him go past the drive by the bounty rune and then look to connect through. Oh, never mind. Dream, he's going to take a lot of damage. He doesn't have mana.
Got the healing ward at least to play with on Dream. Got to use a lot of the abilities on PuckChamp, but we are continuing to see how difficult of a lane it is at the moment for the Juggernaut. In more top lane though.
He goes on Roger.
Off in his ways. They do have some pretty good wards though on Radiant. I really like their ward placement actually. Wherever Roger kind of directed his way to connect to mid, it would have been scouted out with the ward on the cliff or the ward kind of right next to Radiant's outpost. So really nice read from NoSorry. Just recognizing kind of the state of this game and when the Storm Spirit, well kind of the way the Storm Spirit is going to be in trouble.
Nice movement coming through as well from Archangel. Securing that rune. Youngji will be the one to get the other one. So a lot of solid movements coming through from both teams, honestly.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Boy.
They've been going for the dive, using the offensive glyph there, but doesn't look like they'll be able to claim much of anything. No points in the Searing Chains for now.
And they even TP'd Yondin. I guess I know the Centaur shouldn't be vulnerable in this top lane. 15 and 10 compared to the 19 and 7, so having a pretty good lane at the moment for the offlaner on NoSorry. Kind of a big issue is the fact that Dream, he had to run all the way back to base, so didn't have any resources to play with. We'll TP back out now with full mana and health. Roger. Oh man, the little things that supports do it. He made sure he was out front of the tower range, just tanked up 2 creeps, so didn't get aggroed from the tower, and yeah, but could go back and freely CS, and also kind of keeps the creep equilibrium on their side of the cliff.
And here we go again, just trying to abuse the fact that you're not quite level 6 on this Storm Spirit. They'll be able to move away in time because of that freshly placed Observer Ward, but it is with a Wild Wing Ripper, so you just need to be so careful. Again, without that mobility coming through from your ultimate, you just get pushed out of position, and you get burst down. They even might be looking to put some extra pressure in onto this mid tower with the bonus armor that the toughness aura from the Ench creep gives. It looks like to me that Youngji is just trying to shove this wave in as much as possible. Could they even cut this lane on Roger?
Well, they're going to see Archangel anyway. Youngji going to be forced to commit a couple of remnants to secure first blood, but you are more than happy with doing so. It does push you away from the lane. You still have a catapult though in the river, so this is actually going to be pretty decent. Manic is going to be forced just to enter, try and spam out as many abilities as possible to clear off the creep wave, so very nicely done from the Storm Spirit. And also getting a Cory for good measure.
The same issue though with leeching the experience, right? The IO is just soaking up half of this XP. He still doesn't have level 6 at the 6.5 minute mark. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging, and in the meantime, you've got an Ember Spirit that has the potential to just go back to base very easily and keep ramping up the pressure. At least you won't have a siege creep to be able to play around with, but it's a lane that probably hasn't gone anywhere near as well as the Storm was hoping.
Top lane, they are setting up on last hero. Carlos, really the first time in a couple of minutes that he's moved to top. And while Roger, though, he's going to be the ones getting targeted down for the moment. Manic was off to a flying start in game one, thanks to the rotations and I should say the assistance of the Ire, just to really buff up his mana pool. So, unfortunately, wasn't able to get the kill, but at least being in some kill involvement is going to give him some experience and a little bit of gold to be injected into the bank.
Mentor's got the Vanguard at least, so a lot more sustainable now against the Lone Druid.
Ooh, Dream's going Battle Fury. Pretty much only been seeing the Juggernauts go for the Maelstrom.
Not sure how crazy I am about that. Let me think if I can justify the reason. Nah.
No.
Can't justify it.
Yeah, I don't. I'm concerned on Dai's potential to run over this game and get a lot of map control. I mean, it's kind of already obvious with their early plays coming through from the rotations from the supports. But also if you just take a look at the wards and how they're set up on PuckChamp, like some very good aggressive wards. Hold that thought as... So we're going to bring a couple of heroes bottom to try and defend the tower. Roger hitting it very aggressively on the Chantress. Going to feed away another kill him. No, Dream will take any little gold he can get.
First time in the entire game that he's been able to freely farm a creep wave. So what I was thinking as well with this Battle Fury decision, it doesn't work out well for me because, again, you're up against this Ember Spirit where magic damage is at a premium because of all the other magic damage that's being laid out. You need to make sure that Flame Guard goes away ASAP. You're up against a Lone Druid who basically has the same physical and magic resistance on his bear. So it's not like one is really better than the other. And I talked about before how it's going to be great against the Enchantress as well, just playing around that spin to be able to take her out when, of course, we saw how much damage in that previous game Roger was doing. Just going to look back and see what Roger actually do. He did like 14,000 damage in that last game. Pretty significant.
What position was he in? Like what rank of damage?
Like 6th?
Yeah, not too bad. Especially as a position 4. He did itemize for it though, of course. There were a couple of fights where we saw he wasn't really being able to right click, but wonder if he's going to continue to go back down that route. They're putting a lot of emphasis on trying to secure this early tier 1 tower. Wonder what then they're going to consider about rotating the Dawnbreaker. Has the Solar Guardian as a potential. But again, without the chains, it's going to be very difficult, or the Fiend's Grip, to really lock someone into place. So, you see NoSorry doing... Honestly, they're doing a really good job to prevent PuckChamp from getting this firm control around the mid lane. Zip into Carlos. It's going a little bit too far forward. Someone needs to be able to get rid of the Nightmare. They'll do it later on, but the Ice Path off the mark. There we go with the Solar Guardian. Used to keep DeCarlos alive, but they will not get anything else out of it. So now this just frees up bottom for Dream.
He'll go straight back on Malik unless... No TP cancel there.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, he tried for the play.
Regeneration.
Ah, yes. Good remnant. Back to the map. All right, so... Really, I just... It's been a very slow-paced game, but I feel like both sides are doing exactly what they need to do. PuckChamp, bottom lane. Malik. Relocate's coming out, but... Manic, can he be able to close the distance? He's pretty close to the tier 1 tower, but now with the extra damage coming through for the Omni Slash, it will not matter. Nightmare at the last second for the DeCarlos to buy a little bit of time. And Malik retreats safely back to the tier 1 tower. Dude, DeCarlos, what are you doing to these lads, man? Yeah, how good he is on the Bane? No, I don't know. Maybe you got to do it once more.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job so far. You'll have this level 6 as well once this creep wave falls down here with Malik. So have to be careful about anyone that looks to make the movement through. You know that you don't have the relocate available.
And with that,
He's just done so much in these past couple of minutes, right? He de-warded inside the triangle. He was able to dodge out that gank attempt in the as he was escaping the triangle. Yeah, it came with the assistance coming through from the Dawnbreaker, but he was dodging Ice Pass. He was getting Nightmares off, and there, it just saves another one. It pays Malik right on back. So Takala's having an amazing time.
yeah, and with that relocate down bottom, it freed up mid so the Ember could get a lot of damage in the tower. And that brought it down to a threshold where then Roger was able to step in and secure finally the tier 1 mid. So, I mean, Centaur's gone for this Vanguard and Hood. So he's going to take even longer to be able to get involved without the blink. Maybe something that NoSorry... are you surprised he's gone kind of for the double utility item, I suppose to say?
Maybe their mindset is they just want him to be up on this top side, drawing a lot of attention away from the rest of the map. And basically saying, look, if you're pushing there, someone needs to address it, otherwise towers are going to go down. And if they do TP, then we'll be able to make a play happen elsewhere.
We're going to see Takalis. So this time they're going to look to target down the Bane, but again, the Solar Guardian used defensively. And now with the chains locking 2 heroes into place, so PuckChamp, they can just turn to deal with the Jakiro. Relocate return is going to come out shortly. Dream should be able to get the TP out. Man, that was very late on the Blade Fury, but Young G didn't attempt the chains.
And they'll see this TP coming to the mid lane, so that's just a trigger for Last Hero again to go back up to this top side. To me, it feels like he's a magnet. He's this Timbersaw sort of hero, this Broodmother style, where you have to consider that you're losing a lot of map control because you're letting him farm, but how much can you do in the meantime, knowing that you are essentially playing 5v4? Same sort of thing with the Juggernaut going Battle Fury, right? He's not really a hero just yet.
PuckChamp trying to venture into Radiant's jungle. They'll both eye each other up for a slight second and look to back off. So 3,000 net worth lead though, PuckChamp getting a lot out of the map. Really, with all the action we've had on mid, kind of all our eyes have been there for the moment, but we have some time to look at Krillak for the moment on the Lone Druid. Mask of Madness, and will be working on the Desolator. Just needs one more component, and really not too far away in regards to gold.
Yeah, of course, even just being able to buff up an Ember Spirit with whatever target they're looking to go for, right? A lot of that damage is still going to be not necessarily as burst-oriented as their previous game, but they got a good amount of potential for that heavy damage coming in a short period of time.
Young G's.
The damage that Ember's able to do on his own.
Yeah.
Might go for the chains.
I wonder how he's going to commit onto Yond. There's his potential to tether away. Meanwhile, to the north, Krillak. Oh man, this bear is goddamn fast. Needs one root. It's not going to get it for the moment. Well, doesn't even get it at all, but it's easily able to catch up to the Jakiro. Krillak is able to hit the feed for the first time this game. So, what are we looking for? For NoSorry, well, I guess we'll speak about them considering they're the ones with the deficit. Do you really feel like this Blink Dagger is just that one item we're looking for when NoSorry can start to play a little bit more proactive? Because it's really just been reactive from them through the first 14 minutes.
I guess so, but again, when they've got it, can it even be the Juggernaut connecting through? I'm still of this mindset of like, he's not a hero. Like, he's just got the Battle Fury picked up now.
Pretty good timing, honestly.
This cam? Yeah, it's not too bad. But, I mean, you have lost a good amount of map control already. Like, the mid tower going down, bot tower going down.
Ooh.
Without too much involvement coming through from the Lone Druid, this is an early Roshan. I suppose you got that Desolator available, so why not?
Gonna catch him off guard. It was PuckChamp in game 1 with a pretty much around this time, actually. Maybe even like 30 seconds earlier. And they're going to do a similar thing with the Desolator on Krillak. I think another thing to mention is just the fact that with all the action we've had around mid, Storm Spirit hasn't had the opportunity to go farm the jungle with the Eye. Like, this is an exceptional way to be able to be a steroid and amplify your farm, but they've had to put a lot of their attention just defending the tower. So we see Storm's net worth is kind of, fallen off a lot.
Do I need... I hate repeating myself. You know me. That's the thing that I don't like doing the most. But if it's the same thing happening game after game... Shut up. There's a level 9 Storm Spirit there's a level 9 Storm Spirit and a level 11 Ember Spirit. Like this, you are not getting anywhere near enough done with this combination that you've drafted in your first phase 2 games in a row. Something needs to change.
I think it's just the adaptation though of PuckChamp. I really feel like that's the case because I think game 1 they were off to a good start. Like he was on a killing spree. Was he 5-0 at some stage? Or was it someone else? He was off to a really good start regardless on the Storm Spirit. But it was just, this game, I feel like it's really different where PuckChamp just put so much emphasis on his lane, where Storm wasn't able to freely farm and use that eye to catch up. Or use that eye to get ahead, I should say, of the Ember. Down bottom, who they caught out here? Malik. Hang on a second, he's got a BKB. Malik, no cares in the world. They're able to turn to deal with a Centaur, a zip in, trying to deal with the Fiend script. They can do so regardless, but beautiful nightmare timing. He's going to be okay, though. What? Dude, this game is crazy. We just got a bunch of action going on, a bunch of spells being used, items being used as well. Finally, we'll get some blood. Like, we want kills. Give me, well, we're getting action, but give me blood dropped on the ground.
That's not the greatest glyph either, being used by NoSorry. You've got this Desolator, Lone Druid Bear. Of course, he's got that Demolish, so this tier 2 tower is going to get ripped through.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Such a good voice line.
It is not a good voice line. Don't give me that.
So fun. Oh no, Centaur. First roop, second roop, easily done. PuckChamp, hang on. They're not gonna do this, are they? Not the higher gun. They got the Ag Shot already on Collat. Oh boy.
Bro, Dawn still hasn't ultied, so she could join it at any time.
Manic! Hang on a what? Oh, you gotta respect the bear! You gotta respect the bear, man. This hero is doing so much damage. And look at Young G. Positioning to the west, no cares in the world, is recognizing they don't have that instant stun, so Ember playing fearlessly in this second game. Nice deny. Oh, not again. You get the instant roar. Holding them back for the Ice Path from Archangel. It's going to be a bit of a deterrent. They do have last hero back alive. They're going to put their emphasis on trying to deal with the bear. Menac's back in as well, so they should secure the kill. What? Dude, Storm Spirit's health once again just getting evaporated. Where did he go, Danog? Where did he go?
Radiant's bottom barracks.
I'm calculating where he went right now. Just give me a moment.
And they're back in. They are so far ahead. This is going to be an early game at this rate. The fact that Dream has to come back with a Battle Fury and he's not farming. Duh, not good at all for NoSorry. Down a full set of barracks. 10,000 deficit as well.
Alright, so I know it's important, obviously, to have that surprise potential with your items, right? That gotcha. As, sorry, they're just walking past a triangle ward, but Ducalis doesn't seem to care all that much. He feels like he can't die right now.
He's baiting.
As well, they might actually get a bit of a pincer.
Alex moving on over. Has the Ag Shard to be able to work with. Rain, they are nearby. Got to target down Malik for the moment. Storm Spirit is not having a good game. Not one that he wants to remember. A nice Ice Path, actually going to be able to connect onto 2, but once again, the Solar Guardian just buffing him up. Last Hero's going to be in with a double stun. That's a decent fight for NoSorry. Finally being able to hit the feed. 2 kills for the lads on Radiant. Dream chasing on forward for more, but will not be able to catch up to Ducalis or Collat.
Alright, so unfortunately, for me looking smart, it's not the case anymore, but before that last death on the Storm Spirit, he essentially had less effective net worth than the Bane. Bane, before that fight, had 3,500 net worth, and he'd used almost all of it, you know, on wards and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really matter. I don't think Young G is going to be able to get any kills happening. But up until that kill, Storm's only items were Magic Wand, Power Treads, Bottle, Fairy Fire, and Null Talisman. He did not have those 3 other items in his inventory, so he was sitting on 3,100 net worth at 20 minutes into the game. Should not happen as a Storm Spirit. It's a big reason why, you know, you keep asking, where did he go? How did he vanish so quickly? It's because he had less effective net worth than a support. So this is what I'm talking about, right? it's important to have that gotcha potential. It's important to, of course, surprise with a lot of your movements, but not at the cost of dying 3 times because you're as squishy as a support.
This game is on Dream if NoSorry have an opportunity. Like, I'm very impressed with Dream and the position he's in regards to the net worth, but he has to go absolutely crazy if NoSorry have a hope of being able to force a game 3. Is PuckChamp, well, they want to make sure that's not an opportunity. Onto the Juggernaut, they go relocate a little bit too late. They'll blow up 3 and instant use of the buyback and well,
feels a bit angry to me.
oh,
Even now with the Storm Spirit, he's got his Orchid, he's level 10, but I don't think with the IO he's even going to be able to get too much done
Has he
here.
got a
Just
TP?
trying to keep... Oh, the Glyph.
Oh boy.
He does not.
Oh boy.
Use the Tumbler's toy, get out of there.
Run, my friend! Oh, do you relocate him back? What's the call? Why they're gonna stampede you're gonna have to relocate him out.
He's playing like a support.
Oh, you'd love to give him the Philosopher's Stone, I'll tell you what. Oh, there's a DD too.
Don't do that to him.
What, man? Well, you said he's playing like a support. Hang on a second. That's...
Yes, he's pushing lanes out, giving his life away to do so.
I respect it. Man's able to recognize when he's behind and what role he needs to fulfill in.
Well behind.
Yeah, how's the levels looking? Well, yeah, it's fluctuating between. He was level 10, which was the lowest out of the game. Not gonna stick
He just
around
took
there.
the tome.
Oh, dope. Give him the tome. Yeah, okay. I don't want... Yeah, screw it. I don't like this Orchid. I didn't want to kind of beat him down. He's already had a bad game. I don't particularly see the reasoning of the Orchid, especially with PuckChamp with the really good start they've had, and regardless, they're a team that relies on grouping up with the Lone Druid, and Orchid is not an item for team fighting. I can kind of hold that thought as... Okay, there we go. There's the jump. Once again, the Solid Guardian and Young G is more than healthy. Meanwhile, off to the northern side to Carlos. Fiends group out for the longest time. They didn't have an answer to deal with this Bane is well deserved the Grand Master. The Carlos has done it once again. Game 1 was not a fluke. Was able to replicate that in fine fashion. Not only him, but PuckChamp as well.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That's it, you gotta call it. Even some, like, flawless plays from G won't be enough. You've been megged at 24 minutes.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Wow, man. This puts us in a crazy position for Div 2 now in Eastern Europe. Yeah, this really puts us in a crazy position. Mega creeps at 24 minutes in. Good luck, lads. Storm Spirit Brooder for once, and that's all they needed. All they needed was one root, little bit of damage coming through from Roger and Young G, and they're gonna tap out. Jesus, what an absolute beatdown. PuckChamp, that is the definition of no remorse there. They just obliterate the hopes of NoSorry.
Yeah, they said, no, sorry, you're not going to get a win coming into this one. But Roger really puts his case forward as to why, of course, he was such a strong pos for in the Eastern European region for such a long time, right? Yeah, he only played the Enchantress this series, but the amount of space that he was able to create, the harassment in lane, which meant that Dream obviously wasn't as farmed as he was wanting to be. To me, it does come down to going down for the exact same kind of draft and not taking advantage of it. IO Storm, you got to make plays, you got to be playing active around it, you got to be having items that are going to enable you to do that, and an Orchid just doesn't. So, unfortunately, they are going to be dropping in pretty damn convincing fashion. I mean, by the 21-minute mark, that game was over, and yeah, they just capitalized immediately after it.
I think one thing I was very proud to say a lot through Spring Tour, through the... Why are you smoking like that? What do you think I'm going to say, huh?
No reason.
Yeah, just keep your mouth shut. One thing I was very proud to say was I think that Southeast Asia had probably no, I think they had the strongest Division 2 out of any other region. I think it's a little bit different now in this third tour. I really think it's where Eastern Europe is. I think this region, the Division 2 and I think their Tier 2 and Tier 3 scene has just been growing over time. We've seen a lot of Dota 2 Champions League, which was something that we were not seeing in Eastern Europe. China always had third-party tournaments. We were always seeing third-party tournaments for Southeast Asia. And now that, I mean, they're up to the 11th iteration of D2CL. I think actually even the 12th now. So, I mean, you just take a look, of course, a really strong Division 1 teams getting knocked down in Hellraisers and PuckChamp, which is all Hellraisers. You know, they lost to NoSorry in the first week. And the fact that NoSorry, well, they just got obliterated against PuckChamp. So we even see Namigas at the top. They're 3-0. They had a big roster change. They're looking good. Cybercats, you mentioned, there's some pretty experienced people in there. DK Fogos is definitely one to mention. So Empire as well, a lot of experienced people. I really feel like there is no one that is guaranteed in Eastern Europe, but every series is incredibly important. And the fact that NoSorry is losing a series as convincingly as they did is going to be a bit difficult for them.
Did you see with Empire as well the recent news with who's going to be playing the POS 1 for them lately?
I did. Do we want to leave it? Okay, well.
I mean, it's not. It's on Reddit. It's not hidden.
Is it? Okay.
It's not hidden. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So Illidan, I mean, for those like old school Dota fans like me, boomers rise up. You get Illidan, you get BZZ, and you get Shachlo playing on Empire. I mean, this is a blast from the past. I'm very happy to see it. Of course, Illidan was like the carry back in the day on like pretty equivalent levels to like your burning, for example. Yep. So I'm keen to see if he's able to relive some of that past magic and really drive home Empire's remainder of the season.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the ladder now. Really, it's crazy. And I also think in general, though, PuckChamp, that's a really important series for them to win as well, because with Roger coming in, firstly, is it 3 or 4 series that you can have a stand-in for? It's only 3, right?
4.
It's 4? Okay, so Roger can play for the rest of the third tour. So the fact that you're able to...
Unless there's tiebreakers.
True.
If there's tiebreakers, you're going to need to go back to your original. And with how even it is...
I think there will be.
Might have to be the case. Yeah, well, even if there's like a 5-team, like playing all those tiebreakers counts for 1 series in terms of being able to stand in. So... who knows? Like we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yes. Regardless, though, tonight we've got 1 series for Division 2, at least to start us off. We're going to be moving over to Division 1. That's still in an hour. So we got a lot of time. That is going to be Bet Boom against Rune Eaters. I believe Rune Eaters as well have a roster change as well, but we will let you guys... not sure. We'll say it. May as well. I think it's the... I'm trying to find my... they've got Limitless standing in for Cloud, except for 1 best of 3. So yes, they got Limitless coming through from ex-Hellraisers. So that's going to be exciting to see how he's able to perform for Rune Eaters, because they've been struggling a little bit so far. They did get they get 1 series victory. I'm trying to remember now. I think they did.
I think they
yes, they did.
Are they 0-3?
They beat Paripani, I think, or Mind Games. They beat Mind Games. That's it. Yeah. So regardless, we've got a Division 1 series coming up. It's going to be Bet Boom against Rune Eaters, and we have another Division 2 series afterwards, which is Empire versus Hellraisers. So a lot of Eastern European action for you guys to be able to enjoy, but that's going to be it for Danog and I tonight. Stream more than likely going to be closing down, and like we said, the Division 1 will be kicking off when the Southeast Asian Division 1 series ends in Fnatic and Talon. So that's going to be over on the main channel. Go over there, have some enjoyment, and then when you guys are ready for Eastern European, that will be on the main channel. And in closing comments, Danog?
Happy to see PuckChamp playing to their potential again. I wonder how much influence Roger had in that with some of the shot calls. Maybe he saw some things that were very easy to change around. So keen to see how they're going to be able to go until the end of the season. Same sort of thing for NoSorry. Hopefully they're not too demoralized with how that series went. I think they just need to not necessarily throw away the Storm strat, but clearly what they're doing isn't working, and they just need to play around to different priorities. So keen to see how the rest of tonight will fare, because we got a plenty more competitive games coming up, and even a couple of new faces, I believe, are going to be on that panel. So I'm pretty excited to see that.
Yes, it's going to be exciting stuff tonight. So we'll all see you guys over on the main channel. Fnatic and Talon are going on at the moment, but at least for Eastern European, in regards to our first series, it's going to be PuckChamp taking it into 0 fashion. We'll see you guys later on.